coalitions calling on foreigners to exit the country.
We are not xenophobic, but you know what? If people want to label us as xenophobic, so be it. But it's time we stand unapologetically. The youth of 76 stood unapologetically, and that is exactly what South Africans need to start doing and start governing. Our constitution is clear. It says, let the people govern. The people.
March organizers blame state corruption for the crisis. They accuse immigration officials of taking bribes and selling identity papers to our rivals from Nigeria, Ghana, and Zimbabwe. Riot police stood guard along the route as tense altercations flared between demonstrators and independent journalists. But counter-protesters are pushing back. Using street theater, activists argue that undocumented workers are just an easy scapegoat for South Africa's crippling economic inequality.
South Africa is one of the poorest countries on earth with the highest Gini coefficients and its extreme inequality. A lot of South Africans are living below the poverty line, over 50% of the upper bound poverty line, which means kids are literally starving. And when that happens, it's easy to look for a scapegoat.
As political party banners lined the coastal district ahead of looming local government reviews, civic groups warned that the charged rhetoric could reignite widespread xenophobic riots across vulnerable transport and retail hubs. This has been Jane Cogniter, Global Citizen Correspondent, reporting for Newsline World.
Israeli occupation forces conducted a heavy tactical raid in the village of Deir Abu Mashal, northwest of Ramallah, blocking main access roads and clashing with local residents resisting illegal settler outposts. Jane Cognita details the unrest.
Clashes are paralyzing the northwestern countryside of Ramallah. The Israeli army executed a wide-scale security sweep through the village of Deir Abu Mashal, establishing tight military roadblocks and trapping civilian vehicles. The localized incursion triggered intense pushback from Palestinian youth, who constructed makeshift barriers and threw rocks at incoming military convoys. Frontline soldiers fired back, deploying barrages of tear gas, rubber bullets, and live ammunition into residential quarters, sparking widespread panic across the town.
أثناء توجهنا للتغطية في قرية دير مشعل قابلنا جيش الاحتلال بقنابل الغاز بشكل مباشر برصاص مطاطي، اصبت بقنبلة غاز برجلي بشكل مباشر. كنا طبعا لابسين لباسنا الصحفي الكامل وعرفنا عن انفسنا انه احنا صحفيين.
The latest unrest follows days of tension over disputed settler outposts in Al-Kanana Hill. Palestinian officials say Israeli authorities have accelerated land seizures this year, issuing orders affecting more than 500 dunams of privately owned farmland in Deir Abu Mashal, Beit Talo, and Jamala. Although Israeli President Isaac Herzog and military chief Eyal Zamir have previously criticized extremist settler violence, Palestinian communities accuse security forces of failing to prevent repeated confrontations. The United Nations Office of the Coordination of Humanitarian Affairs says more than 1,000 settler-related incidents have been recorded this year. Meanwhile, Antonio Gutierrez have voiced concern over what he described as growing impunity in the occupied territories. Palestinian civic groups are now calling for international intervention, warning that continued settlement expansion threatens the territorial continuity of the West Bank. This has been Jane Cogniter, Global Citizen Correspondent, reporting for Newsline World.
Heavy Israeli artillery volleys and guided missile strikes rocketed the towns of Far Tibnet and Nabati al-Falqa, signaling Jerusalem's complete rejection of the newly completed U.S.-Iran peace treaty. Prince Tripoli reports.
The preliminary diplomatic breakthrough finalized between Washington and Tehran has failed to slow down the intense grinding conflict along Israel's northern front. Massive explosions shook the strategic southern Lebanese town of Kfar Tibnet and Nabathi al-Falqa late Tuesday afternoon, sending massive columns of dark smoke billowing into the sky. Local medical teams operated amid an unceasing chorus of emergency sirens as an Israeli-guided missile directly blasted a civilian teachers' building in Nabathi, capping a day of relentless, synchronized artillery fire.
Now, I'm not happy with the way Israel has handled themselves with Lebanon and with Hezbollah. They should have been able to do the job faster. It just goes on forever. And when that happens, it throws a negative light on the big deal, and that's the deal with Iran.
The fresh destruction exposes a sharp geopolitical divide between the White House and its closest regional ally. US President Donald Trump and international mediators are celebrating the formal completion of the Islamabad Memorandum of Understanding. The deal mandates a comprehensive multi-front ceasefire, a 60-day freeze in active hostilities, and the removal of the Persian Gulf blockade. Yet, Israeli Defense Minister Israeli Katz announced that the IDF will not withdraw from newly captured security zones inside southern Lebanon. Meanwhile, the Lebanese Ministry of Public Health has released a staggering casualty report. Officials confirm that the death toll from the grueling post-March 3rd offensive has surpassed 3,800 victims, with over 11,000 others severely wounded. Iranian Foreign Minister Abbas Araghchi reiterates that a total halt to the fighting inside Lebanon is required for any long-term diplomacy. But commanders in Tel Aviv maintain that the IDF is not bound by Washington's bilateral deal and will aggressively press forward until the border zone is permanently clear. Reporting for Newsline World, this has been Prince Tripoli, SMNA News.
Up next, President Ferdinand Marcos Jr. has departed for Kazan to attend the ASEAN-Russia Commemorative Summit, where he is expected to hold talks with Vladimir Putin on food and energy security. And former military personnel have come forward to support allegations of flood control corruption, echoing testimony presented during recent Senate hearings. More news when Newsline World returns.
Sa bawat araw, sa bawat sandali, kami ay SMNI. Ang aming uniforme ay hindi lamang tela. Ito'y sagisag ng aming paninindigan.
Ipinagmamalaki natin ang ating bansa at ang ating pagiging Pilipino.
Pinagsama ng nagkakaisang layunin, ating isinusulong ang revolusyon sa media.
Ang templong tahanan ng Diyos at ang sinag, ang instrumento ng katotohanan, at liwanag na nagmumula sa iisang may likha.
Pula, ang pag-ibig na nananalaytay sa ating mga ugat. Ang dugo ng bawat bayaning Pilipino na nagbuwis buhay para sa ilang bayan.
Itim ang kapangyarihan ng bansa at soberanya na tanging sa mamamayan lamang.
Ang bawat Pilipinong handang ipagtanggol ang kalayaan at katarungan.
Puti, ang kapayapaan at pag-asa. Taglay ang katapatan sa lupang sinilangan.
Kami, ang SMNI. Salamat sa inyong walang sawang pagtitiwala at pagpanig sa katotohanan.
Sa panahon ng ingay, sa panahon ng maraming tanong, panahon na para marinig ang katotohanan.
Sa totoo lang, ano ba talaga ang nangyayari sa ating bansa?
At sa totoo lang, handa ba tayong harapin ang katotohanan?
Sa totoo lang,
Dito walang iwasan,
walang paligoy-ligoy.
diretsong usapan.
Sa totoo lang.
Sa SMNI.
A 6.7 magnitude earthquake struck Indonesia's central Sulawesi, causing scattered damage across Palu and surrounding areas. Emergency services were deployed quickly to assess infrastructure and assist evacuations where needed. Virgil Parba has a story.
A strong earthquake has caused scattered damage and sent emergency personnel into the field. The 6.7 magnitude earthquake hit central Sulawesi on Tuesday, leaving a trail of damage across Palu and its surrounding areas. Emergency crews rushed to the Tubalaco University auditorium. Officials say a graduation ceremony was happening right as the ground shook. Thankfully, no casualties are reported. The earthquake struck central Sulawesi without immediate reports of major casualties. However, authorities confirmed scattered damage and at least 8 injuries in Sigi Regency. The casualties include 2 people with serious injuries and several others with minor wounds. Palu lies in seismically active region of Indonesia, which sits along the Pacific Ring of Fire, where tectonic activity often triggers earthquakes. The city previously experienced a devastating quake and tsunami in 2018, which caused widespread destruction and significant loss of life. This has been Virgil Parba, your Global Citizen correspondent, reporting for Newsline World.
President Ferdinand Marcos Jr. has departed for Russia to attend the ASEAN-Russia Commemorative Summit. Preslyn Cataro has the details.
At around 11:55 p.m. on Tuesday, June 16, President Ferdinand Marcos Jr. and his delegation left for Russia to participate in the ASEAN-Russia Commemorative Summit. During the summit, regional leaders are expected to discuss cooperation in security, trade, energy, food security, and other key areas of mutual interests. In his departure statement, President Marcos said the trip holds both regional and personal significance as it marks his first visit to Russia.
It will be my first time on Russian soil, a journey that I undertake nearly 50 years after my father, President Ferdinand Marcos Sr., made his own historic visit to the then Soviet Union in 1976.
As chair of ASEAN, Marcos said the Philippines is committed to ensuring that the commemorative summit produces meaningful and forward-looking outcomes that will further strengthen the strategic partnership between ASEAN and Russia.
Together with my fellow ASEAN leaders and President Vladimir Putin, we will take stock of 35 years of ASEAN-Russia cooperation and help chart a course for the decades ahead.
According to the President, discussions during the summit will focus on cooperation in peace and security, trade and investment, food and energy security, science and technology, education, tourism, digital transformation, and people-to-people exchanges. The summit also coincides with the 50th anniversary of diplomatic relations between the Philippines and Russia. On the sidelines of the summit, President Marcos is also scheduled to hold a bilateral meeting with President Vladimir Putin. Their discussions will focus on areas of mutual interest, particularly energy and food security. Marcos also reaffirmed the Philippines' commitment to ASEAN unity and cooperation with external partners such as Russia.
We traveled to Kazan with purpose, and we return with renewed commitment to our partnership.
Reporting for Newsline World, this has been Preslyn Catarong, SMNI News.
New ex-soldiers have come forward in a forum to support allegations of suitcase deliveries of kickbacks linked to flood control projects. MJ Mandihar has the report.
4 former Marines appeared at a forum in Mandaluyong in connection with the alleged Maleta delivery scheme issue. They joined the Brave 18, a group of former soldiers who previously served as security aides of resigned Congressman Zaldico. Based on their statements, former House Speaker Martin Romualdez was allegedly among those who received suitcase deliveries containing kickbacks. They also again mentioned COMELEC Chairman George Garcia, who was allegedly given millions of pesos of kickbacks. The name of former Budget Secretary Amina Pangandaman and other personalities was also mentioned. Meanwhile, people at the forum shouted after it was claimed that the suitcase was allegedly delivered to the residence of Senator Chis Escudero.
Pero sir, sa loob ng bahay niya sir, kumain pa kami dyan sir, ang ulam namin hipon, kasama ko yung mga katulog niya sir.
The former soldiers also mentioned news personalities Mon Tulfo and Arnold Clavio, who allegedly received money from former Congressman Zaldico. Former Public Works Secretary and now Senator Mark Villar was also mentioned. The former soldiers agreed that nearly all congressmen and several senators had allegedly received suitcases. Personalities implicated by the former servicemen denied the allegations. Meanwhile, they also claim that some officials in the executive department benefited from the scheme. However, the former soldiers declined to answer whether there were also recipients of the suitcases within the AFP and PNP. The forum was supposed to continue the discussions of the Blue Ribbon Committee regarding the alleged flood control anomaly. However, it did not push through after senators from the Cayetano bloc failed to attend. Senator Amy Marcos arrived early on Monday morning, June 16. However, she immediately left after seeing that the forum venue was still closed. A photograph was also presented during the forum, which allegedly showed that the suitcases contained cash based on the testimonies of the former soldiers. With that, the former soldiers are hoping that the flood control investigation will continue in the new leadership of the Senate Blue Ribbon Committee. Reporting for Newsline World, this has been MJ Mondihar, SMNI News.
A vibrant showcase of patriotism and unity. The Philippine Embassy in Jakarta, Indonesia has hosted 120th Philippine Independence Day celebrations inside its diplomatic compound for the very first time. Marcelo Wanwa has the story.
A joyful, united, and patriotic ceremony took place here at Philippine Embassy in Jakarta, Indonesia, as members of the Filipino communities gathered to commemorate the 128th Philippine Independence Day. The celebration commenced at 9 a.m. with a flag-raising ceremony led by the Philippine Ambassador to Indonesia, His Excellency Christopher B. Montero, alongside embassy staff and honored guests. The ceremony marked the celebration of the 128th Philippine Independence Day, with the 2026 theme Pista ng Kalayaan, or Festival of Freedom, honoring the nation's history, freedom, and unity. The embassy grounds came alive with musical performances, raffle draws, a buffet, and a showcase of traditional Filipino cuisine. Filipinos expressed their delight, noting that holding the event within the embassy for the first time.
This is the first time na nandito yung celebration ng Philippine Independence Day, and we are very happy because I think the ambassador wanted to accommodate more Filipinos, and I think this is very big turnout. Very happy with the event. We're very happy with the warm welcome ng ambassador. May entertainment, may door prizes pa. I hope we can continue this next year and we will support more activities like this. Talagang saludo sa embassy staff, ambassador. Thank you so much. We're very thankful.
This celebration also coincided with the inauguration of the new consular building, which will serve as an additional facility for Filipinos living in Indonesia. The new building is expected to enhance consular services and provide greater support to the Filipino community. Filipino professionals also welcomed SMNI's expanding media presence in Indonesia, noting its vital role in keeping the community informed and connected.
I'm very pleased, to know that SMNI is something here in Indonesia. In fact, I've been looking for that opportunity to help, to assist. I've been in business consulting in the corporate world, so I think my 41 years of Indonesian experience here, perhaps in some way or another, we could be of help.
For many attendees, the event served as a comforting reminder of home. Despite the distance, they were still able to experience and embrace the warmth of Filipino culture, traditions, and community spirit.
Na-miss namin ang Philippines, but coming here, we feel that we are in the Philippines already.
Seeing our flag, nakaka-proud maging Pilipino dito sa embassy kasi nakikita natin kung paano yung culture ng Philippines, ng Pilipino, together, partying together, eating good food together.
Happy Independence Day! Pista ng Kalayaan! So, sobrang saya namin na merong ganito dito. Sana taon-taon.
Happy Independence Day!
Mga barkada dari Jakarta, Indonesia, saya Marcelo Unua, SMNI News, Indonesia.
Up next, the Kremlin says no official communication channels are currently operating between Moscow and Kiev, with spokesperson Dmitry Peskov insisting any serious talks must take place on Russian territory. President Donald Trump said the United States could reimpose sanctions on Russian oil exports, adding that restrictions may return once a peace agreement with Iran restores normal shipping through the Strait of Hormuz. More news when News and World returns.
For years, Sunshine Media Network International has remained committed to delivering truth that matters. Anchored on the principles of responsible journalism, the network prioritizes facts, clarity, and information that truly matters to the public. SMNI provides a platform for voices that are often unheard, stories that deserve attention, and issues that demand understanding. Public service and national interest remain at the heart of every broadcast. Through consistent reporting and meaningful programming, SMNI continues to strengthen credibility and build public trust. This commitment to truthful and relevant reporting has not gone unnoticed. Over the years, SMNI has received various awards and recognitions from different institutions and organizations. These honors highlight the network's contributions to public service, broadcasting excellence, and nation-oriented programming. Each recognition stands as a testament to SMNI's dedication to responsible journalism and meaningful storytelling. More importantly, these accolades reflect the confidence and trust placed by the public and partner institutions. Guiding this mission is the vision of the network's honorary chairman, Pastor Apollo C. Kibaloy. His leadership underscores the belief that media can be a powerful force for nation building. Under this vision, SMNI promotes unity, moral values, and responsible citizenship among Filipinos. Programs are designed not only to inform, but also to inspire and empower communities. Because for SMNI, the mission goes beyond broadcasting. It is about contributing to the progress and development of the nation. This commitment to service extends beyond the television screen. Through the SMNI Foundation, the network implements humanitarian and community outreach initiatives across the country. Programs provide assistance to communities, children, and families in need, bringing help where it matters most. SMNI also works hand-in-hand with its partner organizations, including the Sunshine Philippines Movement, the Keepers Club International, and the Children's Joy Foundation Incorporated. Together, these organizations promote volunteerism, compassion, and social responsibility. Their programs demonstrate SMNI's commitment to real public service, turning advocacy into action. SMNI, delivering truth that matters for nation building.
The Kremlin says there are currently no active official communication lines operating between Moscow and Kiev. Kremlin spokesperson Dmitry Peskov stated that no formal invitation had been received, reiterating that any serious dialogue must take place in Russian soil. Virgil Parba has the details.
Kremlin spokesperson Dmitry Peskov reacted to reports of Ukrainian leader Volodymyr Zelensky's proposed meeting with Vladimir Putin at the G7 summit in France, stating there had been no official invitation and no official communication channels between the two countries. Peskov clarified the situation during his press briefing in Moscow on Tuesday.
Ну, конечно же, не было. Конечно же, не было. Да и официальных каналов-то между Москвой и Киевом нет, как вы знаете. Вот, не было никаких. Да и Зеленскому вы знаете, что Путиным было, собственно, все сказано, все предложено, было сказано и несколько раз повторено, что если Зеленский готов говорить ответственно и серьезно, собственно, киевскому режиму прекрасно известно о чем, то он всегда может приехать в Москву, где его примут.
The Kremlin briefing also addressed the logistics surrounding ongoing trilateral diplomatic tracks involving Washington representatives. Peskov stated that no exact dates had yet been set for United States Special Envoy Steve Witkoff and businessman Jared Kushner's next official visit to Moscow. According to Russian authorities, the scheduling remains dependent on the completion of an ongoing international accord involving regional nuclear and security frameworks.
Заходила речь о том, что скоро американские переговорщики приедут, но точных дат пока нет. Вы знаете, американцы по-прежнему заняты подготовкой к подписанию того меморандума, который был согласован. Мы знаем, что в конце этой недели это подписание намечено в Швейцарии. Ну, после этого, наверное, речь зайдет уже о том, что они смогут подлететь в Москву. По мере того, как даты будут согласованы.
The statement comes as the United States, Russia and Ukraine have held several rounds of trilateral negotiations since 2026, though a comprehensive settlement has yet to be finalized by the parties. This has been Verhil Parba, your Global Citizen correspondent, reporting for Newsline World.
The United States could soon reimpose sanctions on Russia's oil shipments. Speaking Tuesday at a Group of 7 summit in France, U.S. President Donald Trump stated that the restrictions can return following a weekend peace deal with Iran that will allow more oil transit through the Strait of Hormuz. Angie De Leon has the details.
Energy sanctions are moving back to the forefront of the international diplomatic agenda in France. The United States could soon reimpose sanctions on Russia's oil shipment. U.S. President Donald Trump said recently at the Group of 7 summit in France, where efforts to end the conflict in Ukraine are high on the agenda. Trump detailed the conditions surrounding the policy shift and stated that the restrictions on Russia's oil shipment can return after the openness of the Strait of Hormuz allows more oil transit. Trump was quoted saying, "We're in a position to do that soon," citing a peace deal with Iran over the weekend. The potential reimposition of these trade barriers marks a shift from temporary economic measures enacted earlier this year. In March, the U.S. Treasury issued a 30-day waiver allowing countries to purchase Russian crude oil and petroleum products that were already loaded on vessels and stranded at sea. The waiver was later extended as the conflict involving Iran and disruptions around the Strait of Hormuz continued to pressure oil markets. With the new diplomatic developments over the weekend, U.S. officials indicate that those market protections may soon be rolled back. Angie De Leon, your Global Citizen correspondent, reporting for Newsline World.
Deep in the mountains of southwest China, a blood-red lake is turning into a massive tourist hotspot. It is called the Heart of the Earth, and as you can see, it gets its name from its perfect heart shape and striking crimson water. Here's a look at the rare scenery drawing crowds to Guzhou province. Carla Abellana has the story.
This is the view from Guzhou province, the deep crimson water cutting right through the dense green forest. The intense color contrasts sharply against the dense green forest, blanketing the mountain slopes. Down on the banks, crowds of fascinated tourists line the shores, capturing photos and taking in a natural phenomenon that looks entirely otherworldly. But why it is red? It comes down to science. High levels of iron and minerals are packed into the water and the soil. Over time, natural water erosion carved out terraced rings along the hills. It creates the perfect illusion of a beating heart embedded in the earth. To catch the landscape at its absolute best, timing is everything. Travel guides suggest booking a trip in early spring or through the summer months. That is when the regional water levels reach their peak and the surrounding mountain greenery is at its most vibrant. Reporting for Newsline World, this is Carla Abellana, SMNI News.
Polish aerial phenom Maya Konchiska is rewriting the physics in human flight, routinely melting minds across the internet with her mind-bending body control. Jason Rubrico tells us more.
While viral trends usually disappear in hours, clips of Kuczynska effortlessly dancing, flipping and walking on air inside high-speed vertical wind tunnels continue to rack up millions of views across TikTok, Instagram, and other social media platforms, leaving global audiences spellbound by her seemingly impossible athleticism. Operating inside a glass chamber with upward wind speeds blasting at over 150 miles per hour, the Red Bull athlete blends gymnastics, ballet, and extreme aerodynamics into a high-speed canvas. To the uninitiated, indoor skydiving looks like chaotic turbulence, but Kuczynska uses micro-adjustments of her fingertips, toes, and core to execute flawless musical choreography. Her signature air moonwalk, a maneuver where she tilts her body horizontally and strides forward as if casually jogging through thin air, frequently explodes across platforms, reminding the world why she has captured both multiple world championship titles and the fascination of millions worldwide. However, Kuczynska is proving to the world that her extraordinary talents are not contained within glass walls. Taking her elite freestyle abilities outdoors, she has transitioned into traditional skydiving, jumping from aircraft at 13,000 feet. By dominating open-air environments with the same fluid grace she displays indoors, she cements her status as a complete, multi-dimensional aerial athlete who is truly unbound by gravity. Reporting for Newsline World, I am Jason Rubrico, SMNI News.
The Goblin family is finally back together, and they are bringing all the nostalgic feels with them as they cast delight fans by rewriting their legendary K-drama history. Meanwhile, music's biggest night is getting a massive global upgrade as Grammy Awards pushes for historic global inclusivity following record-breaking triumphs by Bad Bunny and K-pop Demon Hunters. Here's Faith Agustin for the show buzz.
In a groundbreaking move toward broader cultural inclusion, the Recording Academy has officially announced the addition of 5 new categories to the Grammy Awards lineup, headlined by the introduction of Best Asian Pop Music Performance and Best Latin Song. The dynamic rule shifts come hot on the heels of a historic year at the U.S. Awards ceremony when Puerto Rican megastar Bad Bunny shook the industry by becoming the first artist to win the coveted Album of the Year prize for a Spanish-language record. Also, Korean pop made an undeniable splash when Golden, the smash anthem from the animated musical film K-pop Demon Hunters, made history as the first ever K-pop track to win a Grammy for Best Song Written for Visual Media. Mason Jr. added that the historic expansions were directly inspired by the music community's call for more opportunities to celebrate new, diverse genres. The newly minted categories, structural shakeups, and revamped artist eligibility rules are all locked in and will officially take effect starting with the 69th Annual Grammy Awards in 2027. Meanwhile, ahead of the highly anticipated 10th anniversary reunion special, lead stars Gong Yoo, Kim Go-eun, Lee Dong-wook, and Yoo In-na came together to recreate one of the most iconic, breathtaking scenes from the beloved fantasy romance series. On June 17, television network TVN sent fans into a frenzy by sharing photos on Instagram of the 4 megastars posing by the ocean. The images, which perfectly mirror a memorable setting from the 2016 hit drama, instantly went viral and sparked a wave of emotional reactions from longtime viewers. This nostalgic reunion serves as a major teaser for the upcoming Goblin 10th Anniversary Special, which is officially scheduled to premiere on July 4 on TVN. Originally airing in late 2016, Goblin, also known as Guardian the Lonely and Great God, follows the epic bittersweet story of Kim Shin, played by Gong Yoo, an immortal guardian of souls who must find his destined human bride, Kim Go-eun, to put an end to his cursed eternal life. 10 years later, the series remains a gold standard in Hallyu history, and this upcoming special is shaping up to be the ultimate love letter to its global fan base. This has been Faith Agustin, your global citizen correspondent, bringing you the latest show buzz.
Sports, Erling Haaland scored his first FIFA World Cup goals as Norway opened its campaign with a convincing 4-1 victory over Iraq on Tuesday, ending a 26-year wait for a win on football's biggest stage. Meanwhile, Swiss middle-distance runner Audrey Vero delivered another standout performance, while Dutch star Femke Bol made an impressive outdoor 800-meter debut at the Ostrava Golden Spike. Carla De La Peña tells us more.
Haaland gave Norway the lead in the 29th minute, but Iraq responded through Ayman Hussein's powerful header to level the match before halftime. The Manchester City striker restored Norway's advantage moments later after capitalizing on a defensive mistake, taking his international tally to 57 goals in 51 appearances. Substitute Leo Ostegard added a third goal in the second half before an own goal by Hussein deep into stoppage time completed the scoring. Norway dominated key moments of the contest and moved to the top of Group I on goal difference, level on points with France after their victory over Senegal. With Haaland leading a talented Norwegian squad, Norway will look to build on its strong start when it faces France in a crucial Group I clash. Meanwhile, Audrey Vero continued her remarkable run in the women's 800 meters by claiming another victory at the Ostrava Golden Spike, while Dutch star Femke Bol delivered an impressive performance in her outdoor debut at the distance. The Swiss runner, who recently stunned Olympic champion Keely Hutchinson with a world-leading performance in Stockholm, entered the race hoping to challenge the long-standing world record. Vero stayed on pace through much of the race before crossing the finish line in 1 minute and 54.55 seconds. Good for another victory and one of the fastest times ever recorded in the event. Bol, a two-time world champion in the 400-meter hurdles, finished second in 1 minute and 57.13 seconds in her first outdoor 800-meter race. The result made her the third fastest Dutch woman in history over the distance and highlighted her potential following her decision to expand her range beyond hurdles. The race featured exceptional depth, with 8 athletes finishing under the 2-minute mark, further emphasizing the strength of the field. Vero's latest triumph reinforces her status as one of the top middle-distance runners in the world, while Bol's promising debut suggests she could become a major contender in 800 meters moving forward. Reporting for Newsline World, this has been Carlo De La Peña bringing you the latest sports news.
And before we end, may you be inspired by the words of the sun. Strengthen your freedom of choice to follow His will, and then you will have spiritual liberty. And that's all for this edition of Newsline World. For God and my beloved country, the Philippines, I'm Val Divina Gracia. Thank you for watching. Goodbye.
This is SMNI News Channel. Truth that matters.